Dad, this is what I've been holding on to. Like,
Yeah.
I've been upset because I didn't have you for all these years. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it's like to to be proud of having a dad.
Welcome back to another episode of the Elena Out Loud podcast, where we uplift the stories of Latinas to get a better and more clear narrative of what our experience is in the Latina diaspora. Today, I have with me Veronica, or V. We go by V Suazo. She's an amazing artist, creating podcasts. I met her through LinkedIn. Actually, it was kind of weird because I don't even know how we got connected, but her and I connected on Zoom and just hit it off. And I just feel like we have so many alignments that I had to just keep her in my circle. So welcome, V. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on your show. I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful to be here, and it's crazy how we connected. And I can go into it, but
I know. You know what?
yeah,
Actually, okay, let me tell you something that's actually even more crazy. So, when V and I first met, we were like on Zoom. I don't know how, like, again, it was like LinkedIn, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, let's have a little cafecito virtual and meet each other. You're in the Bay Area, me too. We're podcasters. Okay, let's meet. Anyway, I was looking at your YouTube channel and Joanna Bermudez.
yeah.
Oh my God, I know her. I've
Oh,
known her for years.
what?
Yes. I
It's
was
so
like, are
crazy.
you kidding me? Is that Joanna? Yeah.
Yes, I love her so much. Shout out to Joanna.
Yeah.
Her episode just dropped last Monday. Um, fun. She's so the things that she's doing. Her
Yeah.
story was amazing.
She is fierce as hell for sure. Like I'm just like, and when I saw her on there, I'm like, okay, you've got to be kidding me. The universe is like, let's put these two together.
That is, my
So
mind
how
is.
do you know her actually?
I. This is the power of community, the power of intention, the law of attraction. That's what I'm
Okay.
gonna say
Okay.
because I'm
Okay.
a
Okay.
firm believer in that first and foremost. And I started my podcast right from
Mm-hmm.
nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I started interviewing people that I knew, and then there's this one girl. Her name is Alex, aka AU Dope, on IG,
Mm-hmm.
and she's connected to a lot of people. So I had her on my podcast, and through her episode, I was got connected to Doctora Cristina, who's the founder of Latinas with Masters,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also got connected with Valentina from Mission Native. She's the founder of Mission Native, and through Mission Native's episode, Joanna found me, and she connected with me because she asked me if I could join one of her events that she had. It was like a student Bay Area barber, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. And she asked me to go there and do interviews. So I was like, mind you, like this is the first time I ever like go to an event and do interviews in person. And to be honest with you, doing this podcast, I didn't know it was gonna get me to this point where I'm like interviewing people. Like that
Yeah.
was never the goal or the
Uh,
intention. And that the fact that people see my podcast and they trust me and they ask me to go to their events and interview folks, like that's an honor in itself.
yeah.
And so she reached out to me and asked me, and I was hesitant, but I went through with it, and I met her because of that. And then I was like, I want to have her on the podcast because after I learned more about her and how she started her Freedom Braiders program,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's kind of how the connection happened. But it's like, dude, it's like the power of community, the
Yeah.
power of actually like being that person, embodying it, and then slowly attracting women that are also on that same frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I kind of gave
No.
it a long answer, but
No, that was so good because I mean, you're right. I think I wonder if, during COVID, we were kind of all just like, okay, well, let's stay to ourselves. And just the idea to be out in the community and talking to people and making new connections, it could be scary, like, especially coming out of that. But yeah, so much momentum, so many things. So let's talk a little bit about, because you talk about so many cool things on your podcast. And you're very vulnerable, which is, I think, one of the things that really connected the two of us that we're both very much into, let's tell our own stories. Like, let's not have any shame. Let's be honest. Let's be authentic. Let's just say what's going on in our lives. And I was just so attracted to that when you started telling me about you share your sobriety story. You had a conversation with your dad that was so powerful. So tell us a little bit. Let's start from the beginning. Like, I know you got you're getting you got your master's in marriage family therapist.
Yeah, yeah.
And then was it kind of simultaneously that you started your podcast, or how did that all come about?
So I applied for grad school in 2023 or 2022, and then I got in and I started 2023. And I started this podcast in the following, well, it was last year actually. I started in January.
Time
So
flies.
2 years into grad school already.
Okay.
And that's when I started my podcast. It's just so weird how like everything came about.
Okay.
I've always been very big on saying things out loud, because I feel like that's where healing comes from. And I've been through a lot of sad moments, a lot of circumstances that were unfortunate, a lot of things that really broke me. But then I grew from that. I rose from the ashes up like a phoenix. So I've learned from a lot of my mistakes. I've learned from a lot of the situations I was in, that we can choose a different path, that we can rise, that we can still be a better human being, that we can still chase our dreams and our goals. And it's crazy how like everything in my life like kind of just led me to this moment. But I don't know. It's just like I think through grad school too, and learning more about myself, my family, I realized that it's important to not only like talk about my journey and what I've gone through to help somebody else that's also going through it. Because one thing I've learned through this podcast journey is that a lot of women are scared to talk about their journey, are scared to put themselves out there, to talk about what they've gone through, which is fair, right?
Yeah.
You don't really want to, sometimes you don't really want to put your dirt out there,
Yeah.
because people are going to judge you.
It's very vulnerable.
Yeah, I understand. It's not easy, but you just don't know who needs that.
That's right.
And I have, I've met a lot of people that have gone through their own struggles, and it helped me. I also have I have multiple mentors that have gone through their own stuff and have taught me through their story.
Yeah.
So I saw how that helped me and transformed me, and I wanted to be that for someone else. Like I wanted to somehow like be a mentor and share my vulnerabilities with other people, and to help them and show them like, hey, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
And I'm just choosing to do something different, because I'm taking my power back.
That's right. Oh my gosh, so good. So what's like a challenge you've been through in your life that you've shared that you feel like has gotten the most people that said like, wow, thank you for sharing that. And you know, that it was hard for me to share, but I shared it, and then a lot of people are like thanking me for sharing it.
Damn. I definitely think it has to do with my journey with my dad. I think that's the most one that I've gotten response from, because there's a lot of people that have had parents that weren't emotionally there for them. They might have been there, right, physically or financially, like my dad was, but not emotionally, not truly there like we needed them to be. And so a lot of people do relate, and they're just like, wow, like you made me feel like I should reach out to my parents, or you made me think about, wow, they were going through this at that time. And that's why, they responded or acted in the way that they did. But it's also tough because you have gone through something, you've experienced something that is traumatic. And you also can't like forget that feeling either, right? It's tough. So it's hard to forgive someone when you've been hurt.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people also have reached out and were just like, I wish I applaud you, because I wish I could have that conversation with my dad. I wish I could have that conversation with my mom, but they're not like there yet.
Yeah.
And that's sad for me to hear that, but also it's a real thing. Like me having this conversation with my dad and sharing it out loud opens up a door for people to realize like, hey, maybe I should be the first one to have this conversation. Whether it goes good or not, you are taking your power back by taking that first step in having that conversation and being transparent, letting them know this is how it made me feel. And then you open that door for them to be like, okay, either they're going to respond in a a good way, or they're going to respond defensively, right? There's either one of those two. But there's power in the fact that you are taking that first step and doing it for yourself, for your healing journey.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of me doing it. Whether I got something in return from my dad or not, it was more about me voicing what I felt and letting that out so I could heal.
Out of your body.
Yes. Me and my dad had already that year started having those conversations.
Okay.
So leading up to his episode, we had multiple conversations on the side, me and him, about things that have happened. And it was because of grad school where I learned to have more grace for him, and where I learned that my parents were in survival mode and were doing the best that they could to take care of me. Although little Veronica needed her father, I'm older now, right? I've been through a lot. I've taken care of myself. I'm no longer angry. I want to understand what he was going through, based off of being in grad school and just everything I had been learning about myself. And one day I was just like, hey, Dad, I was like, are you available for lunch or coffee? And he was like, yeah. And I don't know what it was, if it was grad school or what, but I just started saying things out loud more than ever before. And I just remember we were eating lunch and I was just like, I told him how I felt about everything. And he heard me and he apologized, and he started to tell me about from his POV of what he was going through during that time. So it was just crazy how it just blurted out.
Yeah.
It just like came out.
You're like, here's everything I ever wanted to say.
Yeah. Like I didn't like spill like everything, but I was just like, Dad, this is what I've been holding on to. Like I've been upset because I didn't have you for all these years. Like I don't know what it's like to be proud of having a dad. Like we're gonna get real right now. There was Father's Day. Like Father's Day would pass by every single year, and I would always see my friends posting their dads. It makes me a little emotional thinking about it, but I would watch their posts and I'd be like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it feels like to be proud to say, oh, this is my dad. And I hated that. I hated that feeling. And I would always post my mom for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And that was just something that stuck very, very hard with me. And I had to tell them, because I wanted to, like, I was like, okay, either I stay stuck in the cycle or I talk to him and we move past it. Whether he apologizes or not, it's more for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just told him, I was like, and it's also not what you say, it's how you say, right?
Yeah.
So like not really putting the blame on him, but really also telling him like, look, I get it, Dad. You were going through some stuff, but I do want you to know how I felt.
Yeah. And in the interview, it sounds like you're really coming from a place of curiosity, because and so for anyone who hasn't seen it, I highly recommend you take it's really an interesting and a heartfelt interaction. It's on YouTube. You can find it on our podcast, Get Real with V, on YouTube. But I love how you started out with, tell me what it was like growing up in Honduras. Like what was it? And so he goes through his own parenting with his mother and his grandmother. And like, I feel like that just really set the stage for empathy, for you to say like, okay, look, these are the things that hurt me, but I really want to understand where you came from. Where did this come from? Where did some of these learned behaviors come from? That's kind of how you started. And it was really, really interesting.
I appreciate you saying that, because looking back now, a lot of the things that he said, I was like, holy, like he went, like when we had our conversation about forgiveness and all that stuff, he didn't mention any of that stuff, like his childhood. So that episode also put a lot into perspective for me to really connect the dots and be like, oh shit, your mom and your grandma were hella hard on you.
Yeah. And you even said that in the episode, you're like, I'm just connecting the dots right here.
I love connecting the dots. It's like, it's so great. It fascinates me. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
love this field so much, because it has pushed me to connect the dots for myself, but
Mm-hmm.
also like the relationships that I have, the friendships that I have, the way I've been operating, the way I think, my beliefs. And yeah.
No, it's so true. I feel like, so this is why for me too, it's so important to hear these stories, right? Because I think one of the things we don't realize just as human beings is how alike we actually are, right? Like even, and how different, because Latinas we're so vast and there's so many different experiences. But also when we start sharing stories, we learn so much, not just about the other person, but about ourselves. So in that way, all the people that you've interviewed a lot of different people, including your I haven't listened to the one with your mom yet, but your mom and your dad. What do you feel like you've learned about yourself in this process?
I think the biggest thing for me is learning that there are no limitations,
Hmm.
that I can literally do whatever I put my mind to.
Yeah.
And that as long as I stay faithful to my higher power, I stay faithful to myself, commit to myself, because that was the biggest thing, was committing to my podcast. Um, Things will just happen
Mm-hmm.
organically, naturally, and also patience.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we want instant gratification. We want things to happen so
Yeah.
fast. Like, we start a podcast and we're like, I should be viral by now.
Yeah.
Or you start posting on TikTok and you're like, why am I not viral? Or, you start a program and you're just like, why am I not here yet? And
Mm-hmm.
I realize it's important to enjoy the journey and to be patient as well, because
Mm-hmm.
things will come naturally as long as you are working daily on that person you want to become. You are a lot closer than where you were yesterday.
Yeah. The day before.
And that was for sure. Those are like the main takeaways. And also, I mean, like I said, I learned a lot. But when it came to interviewing other folks and continuing to interview other folks, I've learned just how much all of us as a collective have struggled, have been through such adversities, have gone through so many things in our lives, and how that has shaped us. There's a story in every single one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already like a very compassionate, empathetic person when I meet people. I love, I spread love, I embody love, because I know we all need it. And but this really taught me the importance of continuing to be that way, because people are going through shit.
Yeah.
People are struggling, and you just don't know how much you can change somebody's life just by being there for them, just by showing up in love, just by
Mm-hmm.
smiling, just by wanting to hear them out, letting them talk, letting them vent. And that's another big takeaway I'm getting from interviewing all these amazing individuals and their stories, and just hearing like, we've all been through some shit, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And
Like at one point, were you like, you know what? I want to go to grad school. I want to become a therapist. Like what made you make that decision?
good question. I have always known that I wanted to work with people. I feel like I was alone for a most part of my life. I had to deal with a lot of things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be that. I wanted to be that guidance, that like mentor for somebody else. And so a lot of the jobs that I was at, I would always work with people. Like, I was in a management position, so I would have like direct reports under me, and I loved doing that one-on-one, where I can teach them like, not how to only grow professionally, but personally. So it
Yeah.
was just like always a passion of mine to work with people. And somehow after the pandemic, it led me to this university where I kind of started from scratch again.
Mm-hmm.
And in that job, I moved up, and I was working at higher ed. So I was surrounded by a lot of people that had doctorates,
Mm-hmm.
masters, bachelors. And there's this one person in particular. She knows who she is. I definitely look at her as a mentor. She's Doctora Emily Prieto Tecerogones. I think I said that correctly. She's a chief of staff at the school I was working at, and I worked very closely with her because I was the executive assistant to the president. And she was just like, "Oh, when are you planning on going to get your master's?" And I didn't want to go back because I didn't want to collect more debt.
Yeah.
2, I had already been out of school for 10 years. So I was like, I got to relearn everything. I don't like, it just felt like too much. And I was 33 at the time. So I was like 33, going back to school. Like, it just all was like, no. So I had a thought that this thought is what really changed the game for me. I remember one day I was like, if I could be so good at this job that I hate so much, I can only imagine how great I'm going to be when I do something that I'm passionate about. And I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, I'm going back to school. I'm gonna do it. I don't know how. I don't know. I'm gonna do it because I'm not happy here. And so I was like, okay, it's time. And yeah, I applied. I got in, and I was like, holy shit, this is happening. Yeah, so that's just kind of like how it happened. Like, I feel like when you're destined for something, God, the universe, your higher power is always going to put people and opportunities in front of you.
Yeah.
And no matter if you steer off the path, you're always going to somehow find your way there. My whole point is that when you are destined for something, when source gives you a gift, you're always going to get directed to that path, no matter where you go. If you decide to go this way, but it's not leading you to that path, I guarantee you there's going to be a person that's put in your path that's going to steer you back into that path. And that's kind of like how my life has been.
Yeah. No,
It led
I
me back
agree.
to this. It led me back to going back to school, and now I'm done. And now I'm doing coaching, and now I'm doing things that I actually really want to do: motivational speaking, therapy, like all these things that I've always imagined. Like, I look back and I'm like, I'm in awe because this is something I prayed for. I've wanted for since I was in my 20s.
I think it's because, when you like you don't even need to know exactly like where you're going to land, but you have to have some idea of the direction you want to go in. And once you have like that idea of the direction you want to go in and consistently take small steps, even though you're not even sure how it's all going to add up just yet, like you couldn't have known that, okay, I'm going to go to grad school and then one day I'm going to be interviewing all these people on podcasts and I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, and still even know you don't even know where you're going to land still, but you're like building these little pasitos like to get to where you're going and it'll all come clear, but you have to have some kind of idea of like, what is the direction that I want my life to go in.
Yeah. And one of the things that I hear a lot on podcasts and people that are like CEOs and founders is they always have like this vision of like their final of where they want to be. And they're just like, I'm gonna go for it, right? They take that first step. And somehow after you take that first step, things just start to align. And it's kind of like, even like with me and you and the way we met.
Yeah.
And what we're planning to do together.
Yes.
The universe is putting us together because we both have that same vision.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. And when you decide to finally say yes to whatever that idea you have in your mind, and you just take that first step, whatever it is, everything else will follow.
Yeah.
There's going to be, struggles. There's going to be things that are going to make you second guess, but you have to really pay attention to the things and people that God places in your life. And you got to get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, because there's going to be, like, for instance, me and you meeting over Zoom, right? And then meeting in person.
Yeah.
We've never met each other.
Right.
The old me would have been like, oh yeah, I'm down, and then never met with you. Yeah. But I'm so like into what I'm doing, and I'm committed to following through with everything that I'm like, I'm gonna say yes to these opportunities. I'm gonna say yes to these people that are reaching out to me, because I don't know where that leads me to. You could be the blessing I've been waiting for, and I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Like how it's going to happen. And we just have to trust, and trust and keep going and trust and keep going. That's all it is. No, so true. So true. Okay. So then you went to grad school and then I think I misunderstood. Did you go to grad school, finish, and then start your podcast, or were you in school while you were doing your podcast?
I was in school. Girl, this is crazy.
You took it all on. You're just like, let me do it all.
Girl, so I'm crazy because literally my last year of grad school, I had to do my internship. So I had a practicum, and I also worked full time. And for some reason, I just felt it in my bones. I was like, I got to do this podcast. Like, I just have to.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it and I was like, I just got to do it. Even though I have all these other things, I can do it. I just have to sacrifice other things. I have to focus on these things and set myself up and organize myself. So I was like, okay. And so before the third year of grad school and starting my podcast, that December, I was off from school. I had like a month off. So during that time, I focused in on a timeline and I was like, we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. I'm going to record my first episode and that's it. And the rest will figure itself out. And I did it. I was balancing grad school, my internship, and my full-time job, and starting this podcast.
Yeah.
And I did this all on my downtime. So the time I could have been spending like rotting away, I spent it on this, on my craft.
Yeah.
Because it was something I truly believed in and I really wanted to do.
A lot of people I've met, they're like, I would love to start a podcast. But I think something that stops people is caring that people aren't going to care. Like think about caring too much about what other people are going to say. Like, who do you think you are? Like, really, who's going to listen to you? Or, being fearful of that judgment. So I think when I first started the podcast, I don't know, honestly, I started it so quickly. Like I had the idea and from one day to the next that I did it, that I don't think I had time to think about what other people think.
You just did it.
Just did it. But definitely those thoughts did creep in later, right? Like, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? Because in essence, we're memorializing our voice, like our thoughts are being recorded and you can never take it back, right? Once you publish it, they're out there. So how do you think about, maybe judgment or people that are wanting to bring you down or not support you? Like, how do you navigate that?
The first thing I'm going to say is, girl, I'm in my 30s. I don't give up about what anyone thinks about me. No. But there's so many layers to that question, though, because I have been the type where I did care about what others thought of me. I think it's a normal, natural thing for us as humans to feel, first and foremost. But the other people's opinions don't pay my bills.
That's right.
Right. So if I sat here and if you really think about it, like if I cared so much about what my friends and family and strangers thought about my podcast, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, which is in community, which is meeting some amazing, badass, chingona women. Like I'm building my tribe, my community. I'm doing so many things that I've always wanted to do, all because I let go of the fear of that judgment. I let go of what other people were going to think of me. And I went in on my mission and my craft. And I say my mission. So because it's so important when you're doing things like this, putting yourself out on a podcast, there's a mission behind it. There's a reason why you're starting it. It's most likely to voice yourself and voice your story, depending on what your podcast is about. But look, people are going to always have something to say.
Yeah.
They're either good or bad. And sometimes, look, this is the harsh truth. Some of your friends are going to tell you, they're going to applaud you for starting a podcast and probably talking shit behind your back to other friends. But that's because they're projecting, right? They look at you. They look at the fact that you have this confidence to actually go forth and do something for yourself. And that's something that they wish that they could do. And so their first reaction is, oh, look at this girl. Look, who does she think she is? Da, 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 And so when you realize that, you realize, oh, people are coming from a place of shame, a place of fear, a place of, damn, I wish I could do what she does. So if you kind of change your thoughts a little bit, instead of being like, oh my God, they're going to judge me, just look at it as like they wish they could be in your shoes and do what you're doing, but they're too scared to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like why I started this like podcast and why I don't care about what other people think. Cause I always know it's always a projection. Like if someone tells me I can't do something or they talk shit to me about whatever I'm doing, I'll be like, okay, well, here's my mic.
Yeah.
You do it.
Right.
So it's easier said than done, right? It's a lot of mindset work that you have to do for yourself. because we're in a society where we do care about what people think.
That's right.
Like, look at social media. Like, we're constantly being compared to all these other people, but you have to get in a place where you realize that this is your life, and you just got to do what's best for you. And if starting a podcast has been something that's drilled in your mind and it doesn't go away, just do it. People are going to get upset anyways. People are going to they're going to talk shit anyways. Give them something to talk about.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you start going after your things like a podcast, you're going to lose friends that you thought were your friends because of the hate.
Right.
And it sucks, but that's what happens when the old version of you dies. So like I said, there's so many layers to it.
It's like like you said, like it's an audit though of your friendships, you know, like some people are going to support you, and you know, I think, you know, I try to think about, I'm sure there's people that are like, oh, this is boring, or I don't want to listen to this. This is useless. But one day I recorded a podcast and I got a message from someone that I hadn't talked to in many years. And she said something, she wrote me a message saying, something that you said in your podcast today rang so true to my heart that I needed to take a break and stop listening and come back to it later, because it showed me a truth about myself that I hadn't wanted to admit. And her message just sticks inside of my heart, that to let me know that I'm not for everybody, but the people that want to hear me, the people that belong here will find me. And those are the people that I want to continue to surround myself. Even if it's just that one person, it's never anyone else again. Like, it made this whole journey worth it. But besides that, it's like not just about what I'm delivering into the world, but it's about who I'm becoming in the process. Right. So you're right. Like, you know, we all do care about, to some level, what other people think about us. But I think with age comes that kind of self-actualization that this is who I am, and I'm going to blossom into me, and it's happening whether you like it or not. You know, I'm blossoming. You know, you can't, if you're going to sit and judge a flower for how it's growing, it doesn't stop growing. It just continues to grow. Right.
Yes.
So in the same way, we are going to be who we become till the very end, and judging me isn't going to stop that, you know?
Yes. And to add to that, if you have to dim your light around other people, that should say a lot. And that was one of the big things for me, is like realizing, shit, I'm dimming myself down, my light. I know this is what I meant to do. I know that I meant to send out this message or share my story because I know someone needs it. And the same way that girl reached out to you, I have a bunch of DMs from different people that have reached out to me too. And I'm like, this is why I'm doing it. Not because of the hate, not because of the judgment, but because of how powerful I am as a vessel to share that message and for it to land for somebody. So you have to get through the judgment. You have to get through all that stuff in order for that message to get to that person that needs it.
That's right. And, you know, honestly, I'm not like popular enough to have any trolls yet. Like,
you'd be surprised. They're silent trolls.
Yeah. I haven't had any come to my face just yet. The day that I get my first troll, I'm gonna be like, I made it. I'm popular. I'm popular. I'm getting the hate. Okay, I made it. Yeah, it's bound to happen, you know. But it, like, to my face, it hasn't happened just yet. So like, I'll check back in when that day does come, you know.
I hope you don't get one, but it's inevitable.
It is,
unfortunately.
Like, I honestly feel like it's kind of a sign of you're getting more popular. When you start to bug people, right? When you're loud enough to people to like hear you that don't want to hear you, then you're expanding. You know, I don't wish for a troll, but I do wish for my voice to radiate far enough to get, you know, for everyone to hear, right?
Yeah. And also think about it. You're a light, right?
Yeah.
We're a light in this world. And when we touch a little bit of the darkness, they're like, oh,
it illuminates.
Gathers them up. They're just like, they're ruffled.
Yeah,
like,
even the tiniest light can light up a room. That's right. Didn't Bad Bunny say that? He said that in his Super Bowl thing.
Did he?
For sure. Yeah, he did. I was going to ask you something about, you mentioned something about, you know, we don't have to share all of our stuff, right? And I think about that too, because I have shared some very deeply personal things. And the way I've been able to do that, though, is that I've had to process it with family, friends, therapists, my husband, to prepare myself fully. And every time I share something that's really personal about myself, I always make sure I have like a purpose, right? Because one of the things I never wanted to do was just to share stories just to get likes and get people, like to be provocative. Like I've never, I'm always like, what is the purpose? Like, is there a reason I'm sharing this? And what is the reason I'm sharing this? So when you share stuff about yourself, like how do you protect yourself to say like, okay, this is what I feel comfortable with sharing, but this I'm keeping to myself?
Yeah, that's a tough question because I feel like I pretty much share everything. I feel like I do. There are a few things I'm sure that I've kept to myself, and those are just things that I'm probably processing still on my own,
Yeah.
and don't want to put that out there for the world to like criticize or
Yeah.
when I'm still figuring it out. But
That, yeah.
also when it comes to like sharing something that has to do with somebody else too, like I want to make sure it's okay to share, like they're okay with me sharing before I do.
Yeah. And like for me, having Latinas Out Loud and Elena Out Loud is not just about, it's not about like everybody needs to share all their secrets. Like everybody needs to tell
The
all their
cheese
stories.
man.
It's more, yeah, it's more like, share the stories that you feel are important to say out loud, right? And sometimes sharing doesn't mean on a podcast. Like not everybody wants to have a podcast telling their whole life story, right? Like you and I, we are like odd people.
We are.
We are not normal, right? And so but sharing it out loud sometimes means like writing it in a journal, talking to a therapist, sharing it with your partner, not being afraid to be who you are in a boardroom, right? I'm gonna come here with my hoop earrings, like, okay, that's what I mean by like out loud. Be yourself out loud, be unapologetically like who you are. Change the room, it's okay. Like, yeah, we don't, not everybody here is in suits and you're coming, in your different clothes or whatever, right? Purple hair, right? Like I'm going to show up like
Yeah.
how I am. That's really what I think for me. And I think for you, because we've talked about it, really what it's about, because we know that not everybody wants a podcast,
Yeah.
right? Or a YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah. It's whatever helps you get whatever's inside out, I think is what's important. Because when you hold things in and store it in, that turns into a lot of things. It's so important to be able to let out, even cry.
Yes,
I'm,
that.
yeah, I'm so big on therapy. I know I'm a
Yeah.
therapist, but I am big on therapy, not just because I'm a therapist, but because of how much it has truly transformed my life. I believe in couples therapy. I believe in individual therapy, family therapy, because there's so much that we've like navigated on our own, things that we're holding in that once you start letting it out and saying, even just voicing you're upset and the other person hearing that you're upset and letting you cry and get mad about it is so powerful and healing because now you're witnessing that person giving you that emotional space or that's that emotional safe space to be upset and
Yeah.
voice what you're feeling in that moment and get angry and then getting past it
Right.
because that person has let you say it out loud and you've let it out instead of holding it in.
Right. You can never
That's
heal
just
it if you don't say it, right? If you
that
don't
part,
say what
yes,
it is, like how are we going to ever
girl.
be able to
And
get
there's
past it?
a lot of people walking around here dysregulated.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, and the moment you regulate yourself and you really work through this stuff, like you'll operate so differently in the world. But a lot of people are walking around angry as hell because they're holding on to so much anger, hate, things that have happened to them. And I understand. I've been there.
Yeah.
But I promise the moment you like go to therapy, you talk it out, you write it out, you want to start a podcast, go for it. Whatever is going to help you just like let out and
Yeah.
voice yourself. Very healing.
That needs to happen. Yeah. So you're a therapist, you have your podcast and your YouTube channel. We have some exciting projects coming up, which we won't announce today, but we'll figure out a way to talk about it
I can't
another
wait.
time. I know, me either. And then you have a program that you've started. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So I just launched last week a project that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time. I'm talking about this has been in my mind for years that I've wanted to do. But now I'm in a place where I feel I can lead, where I'm ready to actually take on other people's energy and really guide you and help you through your life. And so I've created a 12-week program called I Choose Me. I'm sorry.
Oh God, that's so good.
And
What?
I know
I
a lot
choose
of people are like,
me.
wait, why the I'm sorry though? We shouldn't be sorry. We
Oh,
should
it's
be,
I'm sorry, I choose me.
no, I choose me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right? So, but it was a vision that I had when I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
listening to a song, and I was like, that's going to be the title of my program
And then in
because
parentheses, can you just put not sorry?
right, yeah, maybe I should just put a little person, not
Like
sorry.
not sorry.
But I do mention like in the wording, I was like unapologetically choosing yourself.
Yes,
We're
yes.
not really sorry. We're just saying that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's really about you choosing yourself for the first time, whatever way
Mm-hmm.
that looks like. It could be in a relationship, it could be you going after your dreams, your goals, it could be you going back to school, it could be um, just you finally voicing yourself, doing things that you've been wanting to do and you just haven't been able to because we've been putting other people on a pedestal. We've been putting others first. And I say this from experience. Most of my life, I was a people pleaser, right? I would
Mm-hmm.
always care and think about other people first. I was
Yeah.
always there for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I always let shit slide because I understood people and I got why they were the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
So this program is about helping women embody that inner confidence, embody that self-love, but also reach moving closer and reaching their highest self, their high potential.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need some guidance.
Yes.
Sometimes we need someone who can walk us through it. And that's why I've created a 12-week program, not 8 weeks, not one session, 12
Mm-hmm.
weeks because it takes 21 days to create a habit. And in 12 weeks, that's 3 months that where we work weekly together. We're doing journal prompts, guided meditations. I like to say I use 4 pillars: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. These are the 4 pillars that I use on a daily. And I'll be honest, some days I slip,
Yeah.
right?
It's not,
But
yeah, perfection is not the goal.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
not perfect. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Uh-huh.
But my whole point of this program is to get women that don't know like how to start this, how to get there, how to build that inner confidence, to give you prompts, to give you guidance on how you can get started. And it's not about you fully transforming in those 12 weeks. No, it's about you taking that first step to say yes to yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then working little by little to finally get closer to it and giving you the tools that you need to build that inner confidence, to say no to things that don't align with you anymore, to
Yeah.
say no to relationships that don't align with you anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and to just live authentically yourself and live a life that feels fulfilling for yourself. And
Yeah.
this is like something I had to do myself, right? I'm leading by example. I've had to literally, I don't want to say kill, but bury old Veronica, old
Mm-hmm.
mentality, old thoughts, old beliefs,
Yeah.
and recreate myself and recreate this confidence. And I want to share it with women. I feel like we are put down as women in society, and I want to help more women choose themselves. I want to help women step into their power and go after the things that they want, that they're scared to do.
I love it. You know what I love about this? So I have a life coach that I've been working with for years. And the reason I work with her is because I've told my husband this so many times. The times in my life where I've reached like so much success and I've reached the next level, I've always had a mentor. Like in college and as friends, like I have specific mentors in my life that help me get to the next level, but I can't do it alone. And you know, there are some people I think that are super type A that can do it on their own, that don't need anybody. I am not one of those people. And I think most people are not, right? Like we need to work in community. We need to have like a personal cheerleader. We need to know what the steps are. We need accountability, like all of these things that your program has. Like we
Yes.
need this to get to where we're trying to go. So good job. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see what happens at the deadline to sign up is June 3rd, and then we start June 8th, the week of
Okay.
June 8th.
So how many people are you taking on in this program?
I'm taking on 10 girlies.
10 girlies. Okay.
But if it ends up being more, I'm open to it. I have the flexibility and availability to do it. But
Okay.
I just wanted to take on 10 just to get started.
Yeah, just to try it out, make it a small community and see how it's going to go. That's awesome. And then how can people find the coaching program?
Yes, they can find it on either my IG link, my TikTok link. I think I have it on LinkedIn now too, but I have like a link tree where
Okay.
you'll see on there says book a session with me.
Yeah.
When you click on there, it'll take you to my website where you can book the 12-week program. You can also, if that seems like it's too much for you, I'm also offering one-offs. Like you can have one-off sessions with me. You'll see the option there. And then I also offer 15-minute clarity calls. So if you have any concerns, questions, or you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, let's talk. Let's hop on a
Yeah.
call and let's see if it is for you. If it's not, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you feel called, if you feel like, then most likely it is. Let's just hop on a quick 15-minute call. There's no pressure, nothing. But yeah, so I offer those three right now.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so what is your IG
It's
handle?
yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
It's motivation with V. So I'm like
Motivation.
all across IG, TikTok, LinkedIn, Veronica Suazo. You'll be able to you'll see the link there where you'll be able to book the session with me.
Okay. All right. It's so cool. Well, stay tuned. Veronica and I have some really exciting things that we're going to be announcing in the next couple of weeks, but she is definitely someone that you're going to want to follow. So check out her YouTube channel, which is Get Real with V. She has like some really legit interesting conversations. You're going to learn so much about the Bay Area and who your neighbors are. I mean, these people are living in our community and they've done some pretty incredible things. So check out her YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram, check out her coaching program. She is someone that you're going to want to stay in touch with, and her and I will be announcing what we got going on really soon.
Yes, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, but thanks so much for being here, V. I'm really excited to know you, to be in your orbit, and we're going to keep working together, but let's keep doing it. All right, thank you. That's a wrap. Talk to you soon.